Hello and welcome to court. For today's project, I will be drafting and constructing a Tudor dressing gown because, and hear me out, why not? This shift was featured in Shift Change and will continue to be updated with Blackwork. I'm using an old shirt as the base of my pattern. I'm marking where I want the faux empire waist to fall, and I'm getting a rough estimate of where the center is. I'd suggest doing this with a mirror. I didn't. It was a choice. This rectangle is going to be used as a pattern piece for the sleeves. Fold in half and adjust the shape so that it's more of a bishop sleeve. You'll want to cut your shirt at the seams so that you can properly use it as a base for your pattern. We learned a lot from making my wife's first shift. Gussets are a must-have. Or maybe they aren't a must-have. I don't know, I'm making them anyway. Make sure to add seam allowance as you draft your final pattern, and then cut it out. Follow the faux empire waistline that you made on the front and extend it to the back. Then cut out that piece. I used my wrist as a template for the cuff. If you don't have my wrist, you can use your own. I like to label my final pattern pieces as I go along so I'm not confused when I go to cut the fabric. For the collar, I cut a long, thin rectangle twice the height that I wanted the collar, with seam allowance. Now it's time to do all of the black work by hand. It costs $0 and 0 cents to not judge me for machine embroidering this. After finishing the last beautifully hand-done embroidery piece, I'm cutting out the final fabric and the lining that will be used for the rest of the garment. Pin the collar to prepare it for sewing. You will need at least 3 pairs of strings for the neckline and the wrists to tie the look together. You want to keep your courtiers constantly guessing about what's under your gown. Place and pin your strings so that when you flip the piece inside out, it remains secure and ends where you want it to tie. Pin the gussets to the underarm section of the sleeve, then sew the gussets into place. Here I am sewing the front section with the pinned string together. Basically everything we just pinned, sew it. I like to cut the corners before flipping fabric back to the correct side so that they look sharp. Iron this. This should be self-explanatory, but if it isn't, go to the store and buy an iron. Once you get your iron home, you'll want to unbox it for the best use of the product. Personally, I like to add water to my iron as it keeps it functioning. If you haven't already plugged...
What are you doing?
My wife said to stop. Okay, so now you'll actually have to hand sew. Make sure to close up all of the openings left by flipping the fabric to the correct side. If you also struggle to hand sew, subscribe for more relatable content. Pin the front to the back at the shoulders. all the stuff you just pinned, sew it together. Pin the sleeves to that rad 80s inspired vest you accidentally created. You'll want to do a zigzag stitch to attach these pieces so that it is more secure and there isn't an exposed edge. Pin the seam of the sleeves. I'm doing a French seam, but you can do a zigzag stitch to cover these raw edges. You know what time it is! Gather the sleeve so that it is the right size for the cuff. Pin the cuff to the gathered sleeve. Now, honestly, I probably should have hand sewn this together, but I hate hand sewing, so I chose a different struggle. Zigzag stitch this together. So, you didn't see me cut this because it's just a rectangle bigger than my body. This is for the bottom half of the gown. Hem the top and bottom of the lower half of the gown. I added pleats as I attached the bottom of the gown to the top section. This step isn't necessary, but if you don't do this step, you will need to gather the material.
Wow! Clap, 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 clap.
Sew that gathered or pleated piece and the vest together. You can use a straight stitch here since this piece was hem. I cut out part of the canvas layer in the collar to make it easier to attach the neckline of the gown. Back at it again with the zigzag stitch. Close up the very last hole that will be left open on the final piece. This project took me 4 days to complete. It probably should have taken less than a day, but it didn't because... Thank you for watching this video. Drop a comment below and let me know what you would like to see next. If you enjoy historically inspired sewing tutorials, skits, and aesthetically pleasing videos, become a part of our court. Subscribe and tap the bell to turn on notifications. We drop new videos every Thursday. Until next time, bye!